Tonight I'm going to share a story with you about a business lesson that I learned. It transformed my business, that was inspired by Moses and the 10 Commandments. After graduating from the University of Texas, I started a magazine called Study Breaks, which was basically a how to have fun handbook for the students in Austin. And it was just something I was doing part-time until I found a real job. Well, the magazine started to grow. And it started to grow so much that I thought, hey, if this works in Austin, maybe it'll work in other college towns. So I went to College Station, I started it at A&M, and then I went to Southwest Texas University and University of North Texas, and it had grown to the point where it actually was being published at 10 schools. And I started to scratch some numbers out, and I thought, you know, if I bought my own printing press, I could print my own magazine, and then I could print other people's magazines, and that would be like really great. And how hard could it possibly be to run a printing company? So that's what I did. Well, it turns out, big surprise, that running a printing company is completely different than being the publisher of a magazine. As a publisher of a magazine, my workforce was part-time college students. But at a printing company, that's a manufacturing business. I had skilled labor that I had to hire, pressmen and bindery and pre-press, a shipping department. It was completely out of my league, and it was a disaster. I mean, quality was non-existent. People were coming and going as they pleased. The plant was a mess, and I didn't know what to do. So I called my dad, and I said, Dad, I need some advice and some guidance, and actually I was hoping for a little sympathy as well. But he had no sympathy. As a matter of fact, the first thing that he asked me was, do the people who work for you know what you expect of them? And I said, what do you mean? And he goes, do you have any guiding principles, visions, values that they know what they need to do when they come to work every day? Well, the short answer was no. And then my dad went on to tell me a story. He said, do you know who else had some problems? Much worse than yours? Moses. The Jews were in the desert. They'd forgotten about the miracles that brought them out of Egypt, and they started complaining. They said, we don't know where we're going. We don't know where you're taking us. We're starving. We're dying. Why did you even take us out of Egypt? So Moses went up to Mount Sinai. He talked to God, and God gave him the 10 Commandments. He went and presented them to the people, and not only did they help him lead the Israelites with those commandments to the promised land, but we still use those commandments to live our lives 3,500 years later. He said, you need something like that for your business. Well, that sounded good. So that night, I started to write the Shweiki commandments. And I didn't know how many I was going to end up with, but I knew it wasn't going to be more than 10, because if God needed just 10 for all of humanity, I certainly didn't need more than that for my little printing company. Well, I came up with 7. And I wanted them to be easy to remember. So with a little creativity, I put them to the word quality. And I was ready. I printed them out, and the next morning, I bought tacos, and I got the entire company together, and I said, team, these are the core values of Shweiki Media, and I'm very interested to know what you think about them. And then I went through them, one by one. Q, quality first. It starts with that. U, understand and obsess over our customers. A, actively communicate goals, decisions, and other important information. L, laugh. We take printing seriously, not ourselves. I, integrity and improvement. We do what we say we're going to do, and we get better every day. T, teamwork. We work hard together, and we're nice to everyone. And you are safe, you're clean, and you're green. Well, after I did that, it was really exciting because you could hear a pin drop. And when I asked if there were any questions, there were. And there was a discussion, and as I walked around the plant the next day, there was some, chatter around the plant, core values. He bought us tacos, It was really very, very exciting. And as we started to roll them out, things started to change. It was really kind of interesting. Yeah, sure. Yeah, we had a couple people that, as we started to hold them accountable for certain higher standards, they left. but we replaced them with people who fit their culture better. And what was really exciting was to see how things started to grow organically around the core values within the company. People started to want to recognize the peers in the organization who exemplified our core values. And they became our superheroes. We had little games that we used to let them play, and they won some prizes. It was really kind of a nice thing that really brought the culture to a different level within the organization. So we also found that using the core values when it came to management made it so much easier. When we wanted to recognize employees for doing great things, we could point to certain things that they were doing with the core values. When it came to discipline, we said, hey, listen, you didn't do this and this and this, and nobody took it personally. There was no hard feelings because they knew what was expected of them. So it was with that we started to see a complete different, it was a culture change. We built a company that feels like a family, that we're proud, that people I feel are proud to work for, and it was all with the inspiration of Moses and the Ten Commandments. Thank you.